Good morning, students. Today I'll discuss about photoelectric effect. Okay, you see, this is the diagram of photoelectric effect. So you know that photoelectric effect was discovered by Einstein. You studied in 1905, and he was awarded Nobel Prize for discovery of photoelectric effect. And in fact, photoelectric effect was discovered by Hertz, H. Hertz. We are using the unit for frequency, but it was being explained by Einstein, and Einstein considered photoelectric effect as particle nature, and he explained thoroughly, and he used certain formula which we use at present also. So the photoelectric effect is like this. See, the diagram is given. So light is falling. It is shown that light is falling on metal surface. After light is falling on metal surface, you see the red color, electrons are going from one metal surface to another metal surface. Okay. So electrons are going from cathode to anode. Cathode is emitter, anode is detector. Okay, it will absorb electron. So when light is falling, electrons are coming out from the metal surface. Okay, if electrons are coming out from metal surface, from one metal to another metal, it goes to another metal, that is detector. This phenomenon is known as photoelectric effect. Okay, this is done inside a vacuum chamber, means the container was not having any air. From suction pump, air is taken out and it is created high vacuum. So after that, when two electrode plates are kept already before the vacuum was created, after keeping the electrode, vacuum was created, then light is allowed to fall. Then electrons flow. Why vacuum? See, if electron flows through air, its velocity will be less compared to vacuum. Vacuum, there is no resistance. Okay, so electrons can flow freely. So we want that electron should go from one metal surface to another. So without having any obstruction, with high speed. So when electron is reaching to that surface, then you will find what? You will find uh, the it passes through uh, where, and you connect volt, you connect galvanometer, you get deflection, you connect ammeter so that you can record the current flowing in ampere. Okay, that is done. This is about photoelectric effect. This diagram is given in your NCERT textbook. This diagram is taken from the NCERT textbook as it is. Okay, now say what is the definition of photoelectric effect. Okay, how can we define this effect? So here the definition of photoelectric effect means when light of suitable frequency. Okay, here you can write when light of suitable frequency falls on certain metals, then the electrons are ejected out from the surface. This phenomenon is known as photoelectric effect. Clear? And the electrons which are coming out is known as photoelectrons. The electrons which are coming out from this is known as photoelectrons. Okay. The current which flows due to motion of the electrons in the circuit is called photoelectric current. This name we give as photoelectric current. Clear? It is different from the current flowing through wire. Okay, in normal in your house, but this current is coming due to falling of light on certain metals, and this phenomenon is called photoelectric effect. Clear? Now, in photoelectric effect, there are certain things we have used, that is light of suitable frequency. Number one, light of suitable frequency should fall. Number two, on certain metals, not all metals. Okay. So, why suitable frequency? See, for ejection of electrons from certain metal, from a given metal. So, you take some metal like lithium, sodium, okay, potassium. So, for a given metal, to cause electrons ejection or photoelectric effect in working condition, a minimum amount of energy is required. Less than that energy, if you supply, it will not cause ejection of electron. So that is known as work function or threshold energy. Okay. So threshold energy is what? Minimum amount of energy required to eject an electron out of the surface of the metal is called photoelectric work function or threshold energy. So threshold energy we use in the unit joule, okay, or kilojoule. Photoelectric work function we use in terms of electron volt, EV is written. So here lithium, sodium, potassium is written. Photoelectric work function is 2.4, 2.3, 2.2. Okay. So you see ionization energy of lithium is more than sodium, more than potassium. So potassium is giving ionization energy less among first three metals. So lower ionization energy has lower photoelectric work function. It is directly proportional. So low potential, low ionization potential metals can cause only photoelectric effect. Okay. So here there are some metals mentioned. It's not that these metals only show photoelectric effect. So there are many metals which can show photoelectric effect. Okay. So but thing is that you have to give energy more than threshold energy, right? So if you give energy less than threshold energy, what will happen? There will be no ejection of electron. Electrons will not come out. Okay. So next. So threshold frequency. So for threshold energy, you need to supply a minimum amount of frequency. You need to supply a minimum amount of frequency. Okay. So you know that Planck's quantum theory, you studied, energy is directly proportional to frequency of radiation. So energy, incident energy, you can say, is proportional to frequency of radiation. Okay. So it should be h nu. Okay. So related nu is known as threshold frequency. Minimum frequency you should supply, that is known as threshold frequency for ejection of electron. And minimum wavelength frequency mu 0 is equal to c by lambda 0. Okay. Because light will fall on metals with velocity equals to velocity of light. So mu 0 equals to c by lambda 0. So threshold wavelength. So if frequency is minimum, then wavelength has to be maximum, because mu 0 equals to c by lambda 0. It is inversely proportional. Okay. So the maximum wavelength required to cause ejection of electron out of the surface of metal is known as threshold wavelength. Okay. Clear? So next is see, we can use phi, symbol phi, to represent photoelectric work function or threshold energy. So that equals to h nu 0. Okay, h nu 0. So h nu 0 equals to hc by lambda, we can say. Nu 0 is threshold frequency, lambda 0 is threshold wavelength. Okay. Now you see, this is shown. So what Einstein has explained, what Einstein has done, great work, for which he was given Nobel Prize. See, Einstein told that here light is showing particle nature, it's not showing wave nature. Means when light is falling on metal, it behaves like particle. Just like you think certain sand particle you are throwing on glass surface. Okay. So if you throw sand particle on glass surface, the sand particles after collision on the glass surface will rebound back, comes out. But it will create certain sound on the glass, vibration on glass. Okay. So it will transmit some energy to the glass surface. Okay, clear? So like that, if the light is behaving like particle nature, when it is collided on the surface of metal, it causes ejection of electron. Okay. So that time electron was showing particle nature, so light was showing wave nature. So how the electrons are coming when light is falling on certain metal? So this was the question before Einstein explained photoelectric effect. Okay. So Einstein told that no, light is showing particle nature, it is colliding on the surface of metal. After colliding on surface of metal, this particle nature light transmitting energy to the metal, and from metal electrons are ejected out. Okay. So electrons are particle nature. So there is no problem in explaining this concept. So incident energy is shown in arrow, it's coming as particle nature colliding on the metal surface. So electrons are ejected out. So electron will come out from one surface, one metal surface to another metal surface. When electron will come out, definitely it will make a trajectory of parabolic motion. Okay, right? See, then the electron will come out with certain kinetic energy, right? When electron is coming out with certain kinetic energy, it is found that the kinetic energy is less than incident energy. Clear? When incident energy is supplied on the metal surface, it will be used to cause ejection of electron, and that amount of energy will be known as threshold energy, right? So when incident energy is supplied, it is used for causing ejection of electron, that is threshold energy. What about the rest energy? Isn't it? The rest energy is converted into kinetic energy of electron, right? So you see, we can write equation. So what Einstein has provided, the equation is like this. He told incident energy EI is equal to threshold energy phi plus kinetic energy maximum of electron. Okay. So why maximum kinetic energy? See, electron can gain energy, okay, the rest amount of energy, that is kinetic energy. Okay, so here h nu 0, h nu incident is equal to h nu 0 plus kinetic energy maximum, that we can write. Also we can write kinetic energy maximum equals to h nu incident minus h nu 0. Okay, so we can also write hc by lambda is equal to hc by lambda 0 plus kinetic energy maximum. So kinetic energy maximum we can write also h nu minus h nu 0. Clear? See, we can plot graph between kinetic energy and frequency. You see, if you take kinetic energy as y-axis, that is y, and frequency in x-axis, that is x, and plus c. So y equals to mx plus c, like equation coming. So m slope is h, and y-intercept c is minus h nu naught. Okay, so you see minus h nu naught is shown in the downward direction with a negative y-intercept. You see here negative y-intercept c was minus h nu naught, clear? And y equals to mx plus c. Here x is taken frequency in x-axis, and slope m is h. So here whatever slope is coming, that slope tan theta of that will be h. Okay. So we can also write the equation that way, hc by lambda equals to hc by lambda naught plus half mv square or half mu square. That is the kinetic energy of electron. So for each incident photon, only one photoelectron is emitted. Okay. So there are many photons you are giving to the metal surface, isn't it? So one photon can excite one atom only, not more than one. So if one photon can excite one atom, and from that atom only one electron will be ejected. There is no chance that two electrons will be ejected. Okay, because the valency electron will be ejected. After that it will be unipositive charge, then ejection of electron becomes very difficult. You know that second ionization potential is difficult. Here ionization energy is not used because ionization energy is related what? Ionization energy is related to gaseous atom, one isolated gaseous atom. Okay, the amount of energy required to remove an electron from isolated neutral gaseous atom is known as ionization energy. Here we are not using ionization energy, but the threshold energy is directly proportional to ionization energy. Here our metal surface is solid, isn't it? Here you are removing electron from the solid surface by incidenting light energy. Clear? So this is directly proportional to ionization energy, but this is not ionization energy, right? Then number two, there is no time gap between striking of photons and emission of electrons. So as soon as light is falling, within no time, the electrons will be ejected. Okay. Then not all the electrons will have kinetic energy, maximum kinetic. So there will be various kinetic energy because surrounding atoms will be there. One electron is going, another electron is going. So when the electrons are coming, so maximum kinetic energy will be equals to h nu minus h nu 0, and others will have energy less than that. Okay, some will have less than that, some will be equal to that. Okay, so kinetic energy of electron will be varying from 0 to maximum kinetic energy. Okay, because the electrons will be ejected out. Not all atoms will eject electrons simultaneously, and only certain atoms where photons are falling, they will cause ejection of electron. So kinetic energy will be in between maximum and 0. Okay, so conditions to show photoelectric effect. What is the condition? How photoelectric effect will work? So condition number one is incident energy should be greater than threshold energy. That is the condition. If incident energy is less than threshold energy, then what will happen? Then no photoelectron will be ejected. Hence, photoelectric effect will not be observed. To number one. Number two, if incident energy is greater than or equal to threshold energy, or incident frequency is greater than threshold frequency, then only photoelectric effect will work. Okay. Similarly, you know that frequency equals to C by lambda. Okay. So if you talk about wavelength, then wavelength of incident wavelength should be less than the threshold wavelength. If incident frequency is more than threshold frequency for photoelectric ejection of electrons, so here the wavelength should be less because wavelength is inversely proportional to frequency. If frequency is higher, wavelength should be lower. So if lambda is less than or equal to lambda 0, then photoelectric effect will work. What will happen if threshold frequency, incident frequency will be same? Yes, electrons will be ejected out, but it will not reach to the other metal plate. It will not reach to the detector. But since electrons are ejected out, we say this is photoelectric effect. Okay, right. So next, some numericals are there. You can practice. This slide I can send you. This slide was prepared by one of our colleagues. His name is there, CSK. So next, see stopping potential. Okay, we will study about one more stopping potential. See, if we want that this electron should not come out, see, we can go back to the first diagram, this one. Okay, here. You see, you want that the electrons coming out should be completely stopped. Okay. Just like you can do small experiment you have done also in your childhood times, when water is flowing through tap pipes. Okay, you want to stop the flow of water. So how can you do that? So you are using your palm in the opposite direction of flow of water, and if you supply the energy is equal to kinetic energy of water in the opposite direction, and completely put your palm on the mouth of tap or pipe where water is coming. Energy should be equal and direction should be opposite. Then water will not flow. So similarly, electrons are flowing. So if you want that electrons should not flow, you should connect with a battery. That's why your battery is there. So if you connect with a battery in the opposite direction of flow of current, if you connect with a battery, then if you supply same potential difference, how much due to which the electrons are flowing, if you supply same potential difference in the opposite direction, the flow of electron will be stopped. How can you detect that? Yes, you connect with a galvanometer. So you will find that galvanometer is giving deflection. Then you potential difference of battery which increase. Some stage you will find galvanometer is not giving any deflection. Okay. So means if you supply a minimum potential difference, the opposite direction of flow of current, okay, and opposite direction of flow of electrons, then here what will happen? The flow of electrons will be stopped. Okay. So whatever minimum potential you give, that is known as stopping potential. Now see stopping potential. We'll go back to that stopping potential. Yes. Yes, stopping potential. Stopping potential is the reverse potential that is applied. It is the reverse minimum potential you can write that is applied to stop the flow of current. Just stop the flow of photoelectric current from reaching cathode to anode. So here anode to cathode. So here in the opposite direction. So there will be no current. So we can write change in kinetic energy is equal to work done for applying potential difference, that is applied voltage. So we can say kinetic energy is equal to potential energy. Potential difference is suppose V0. Then potential energy in physics you studied charge into potential difference. You see, kinetic energy maximum is equal to EV0. Okay. So potential energy is equal to kinetic energy. That much energy you should supply. Then current flow will be stopped. Clear? So we can write that EI equals to 5 plus EV0. EV0 is the stopping potential energy. Okay. And stopping potential will be V0. So V0 will be kinetic energy by E. Okay. So now suppose we rewrite the equation H nu equals to H nu 0 plus EV0. Now divide by E. So what you get? Stopping potential or threshold frequency is equal to h nu by E minus h nu 0 by E. Okay. So if you plot graph between here V0 is a capital V0, it's not mu 0, you see the left side of this equation. The stopping potential is equal to h nu by E minus h nu 0 by E. So if you plot the graph between stopping potential and frequency, then you will get y equals to mx plus c, equation of straight line, which slope is h by E. And y intercept is minus h nu naught by E. It's given, you see. Okay. Next photo current. So how much current will come? See, Q is equal to Ne, you studied. E is the charge of one electron, N is number of electrons. Q is the charge. Charge by time is equal to current. So current will be Ne by T. Clear? So keeping the frequency of incident radiation constant. So you are not changing the frequency of radiation, but you are increasing intensity. Intensity of light means you are giving more light energy. Okay. Intensity of light how can be measured? Here is in white background given. Intensity of light is incident energy by A into T. Okay. That is time, and A is amplitude of sorry. A is current in ampere. A is current in ampere. T is the time, means charge. So incident energy by Q. E by Q. So E is NH nu divided by AT. Okay. A is current and T is time. So in that way we can get intensity of radiation. So intensity you are increasing means number of photons you are increasing. Okay. So you are not changing frequency mu, you are increasing number of photons. If you increase number of photons, what will happen? So if you increase number of photons, then your number of electrons will be increased. Okay. So number of electrons coming out will be more. Okay. Now you see. So you are not changing frequency. So you see in this yellow background diagram, if you change the frequency of radiation, mu is increased. So if you increase mu, then what will happen? H nu 0 is the constant for a given metal. Now you see, if you increase mu, then definitely kinetic energy will increase. Okay. So if you increase frequency of incident radiation, kinetic energy will increase. Okay. Right. But if you increase intensity of light without changing frequency, then there is no change in kinetic energy. Okay. So now you see the diagram. You see kinetic energy versus frequency of radiation is this one. When frequency is increased, kinetic energy increase. Okay. But if you increase intensity, then there will be an increase in number of electrons. So because number of electrons rejected out will be more, because more number of lights you are giving. So if you give more number of light energy, see more number of light energy, you see this diagram, left side yellow background, more number of light energy, it will vibrate more number of atoms, it will excite more number of atoms. So more number of electrons ejection will increase. So more number of electrons ejected increase means average electrons coming out per unit second increase, so current will increase. Okay. So this is about this. Now see. Now if you increase intensity, there will be no change in kinetic energy, because kinetic energy only changes with the frequency of incident radiation. Clear? Now photocurrent. So photocurrent, it can be written as Ne by T. Already we have discussed Q by T is equal to I. I is current, Q is charge, charge Q is equal to Ne by T, time. So photocurrent, your ampere will increase if you increase the intensity of light. If you increase intensity of light, number of electrons will increase. So N will increase. So N increase means I will increase. See. Now there are I1, I2. I1 is greater than I2. If I1 greater than I2, then I is more. Current small I is more. Capital I1 is intensity, small I is the current I. Okay. So frequency is constant. So if you are not changing intensity, if you increase, the current will increase. Okay. So that's all about this photoelectric effect. Thank you. You can use only this formula. One formula is there in this chapter, but concept understanding is required. So this is the formula. So whenever you use to solve questions, remember Here Hc by lambda is used. You remember Hc value is 1240 nanometer electron volt. Okay. Now here let's solve one question. This is very very important. You have to remember Hc value 1240 nanometer electron volt. The light of wavelength 400 nanometer is incident on metal with threshold frequency equals to 2.3 electron volt. What is mu 0 required? Okay. So incident energy is given. Incident energy 400 nanometer. E equals to 400 nanometer. Okay. So E equals to Hc by lambda. So Hc is 1240, lambda is 400. So Hc by lambda E is coming, nanometer cancel. So 3.1 electron volt is coming. E is coming 3.1 electron volt. Your phi is how much? 2.3 electron volt. So kinetic energy will be how much? 3.1 minus 2.3 electron volt. That will be your kinetic energy. Clear? So he is asking about V0 means stopping potential. Stopping potential is kinetic energy. So kinetic energy how much? Kinetic energy is 3.1 minus 2.3. So how much coming? 0.8. So 0.8 volts coming. Clear? So this is your potential difference. Okay? Clear? Now other questions you can practice. If you have any doubt, you can ask me later on. Thank you.